Yeah.
Hello, football family. Welcome into Huddle It Up Films. Today, I have a very special interview. It's Alex. You may know him as SimplyAS10. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you've probably seen his videos. And if you're on Raven's Twitter, you've probably seen his videos. You probably get her to give his opinion. One of my personal favorite videos to watch. It's I watch pretty much everything he puts out. And I wanted to have Alex on the program today to basically just talk about him. I've never got a chance to interview him. I haven't got a chance to sit down with him. So he's kind enough to join me. Simply, how you doing, man? How's it going?
Uh, Lovely. Thank you for having me. Thank you for just want to know who I'm as a person. That's really big and really means a lot. So thank you for that.
Oh man, you're so welcome, dude. Like, I always wonder. I see all your work, and then it's just natural to wonder, like, hey, I got like 20 questions, and the first one is like, I want to ask you first. How did you become a Ravens fan? Because actually, for a while, I didn't know if you were a Ravens fan or not because you do work on all kinds of players. So, like, are you from Baltimore? How did you become a Ravens fan?
Yeah. So born and raised in Baltimore. And a big shout out to my dad and my mom for making me a Ravens fan. I can remember like my first couple of jerseys. Willis McGahee, Steve McNair. Um, and still have like a Super Bowl 35 champion shirt that's like a baby because I was like 1 year old when they won it. But and also the Ravens won Super Bowl 47 on my birthday, February 3rd, 2013. So that's probably that
Man,
till my whole life. That's like you can't top that. You cannot top getting the Super Bowl one on your birthday. So I'm never gonna forget that either. But yeah, born and raised, and just parents raising me as a fan of the best team in the league. Can't
so,
ask for more.
so like, if I'm doing the math right, you were like somewhere around in middle school when we won Super Bowl
13,
47.
13,
Man,
14. It was 14.
that must have been a great like just time, like because you still had that childlike, energy and experience, man.
Yeah.
You probably bouncing off the walls, but like, yeah, the 2006, you had a McNair jersey. So you started remembering Ravens football, I guess, like right before the Joe Flacco era. So I guess you were really into the teams like from '08 until we won the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Bowler. I remember I was so happy when we got Troy Smith because I'm a Madden player, so I was like, oh, we're gonna have a fast quarterback. I mean, that didn't really pan out, but yeah. So I mean, if Flacco was who I grew up with, but I remember Bowler, remember McNair, I remember drafting Troy Smith, and honestly, I mean, when we got Derek Mason, I was ecstatic. I was so happy. I mean, just taking it back those years, it was just so much fun. And then, of course, after Flacco, the playoffs every year, that was lovely going in there and just always being a contender. I mean,
Dude, it's such a fun run because like nobody expected us to contend in '08. The Steelers were the bad boys on the block, and
yeah.
rightfully so. We took them to the limit, and then just slowly built, had that heartbreak, and then I can imagine even as like an adult who was old enough to enjoy the first Super Bowl after 2011. I'm like, oh man, man, that's it. Don't get any. Yeah, man, we were right there. It was like our time, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like what calms me down about like today's Ravens is like I felt like 2019 was like that. Like we were definitely the best team. We should have won it. If all luck
Yeah.
aside, we should have won it, and we didn't play well. It was our own fault. It wasn't unlucky. I don't want nobody to to get the wrong idea. We didn't play well,
Yeah.
but if we played that season out like 100 times, we probably win the Super Bowl. Conservatively, 75 times, I'll say. Probably
Yeah.
more, but I'll just go conservative with that. But hey, how did you get into making your videos? And was it just like something that you messed around with at first, or like,
So I'll take it back. Do you remember the app Vine? It was a while back. There was like 6 second videos. That was middle school for me. I was like making on my iPod Touch. They were terrible. I'll just be honest. And then I stopped doing it. Then I started it up 2019. I was doing soccer. I first started as like a soccer YouTuber, and then I just transitioned to just football. And my first two football videos was Patrick Mahomes' first start and Lamar Jackson's first start. Pretty good first two football videos to have. And then once 20 no, that was 2018. So 2019, once that hit, I just started like going at it. And then when Lamar was the starter, I was like, I'm gonna do this. So since about the 2019 season's like my true start, it's just been fun and it's just a great hobby. And I have had wonderful things happen to me just because of YouTube and making these videos. I can't be more grateful for it.
well, tell me some of that stuff, man, if you don't mind. What kind of cool stuff has
Yeah,
happened to you? I know some of it, but I want you to
yeah.
tell a story.
So I've been able to work with some players, NFL Ravens players, Patrick Queen, LJ Fort, Hollywood Brown, and then also just a bunch of college players. I can make their tapes, and I am now an intern at my college Towson for the the media team. So I really just stuff like
Okay.
that. It just you never know what's gonna happen with this, and I've people be like, oh, that's kind of a stupid thing to have a YouTube channel, but it's one of the best things, if not the best things ever happened to me. So I just can't be more grateful and thankful enough for it.
Yeah, the value, I think from the brief time we talked and interacted on Twitter, like the value of it for me is kind of the same in you. And like, I like really respect that because I came to a time in my life, just real short story, where pretty much my regular life ended for situations that were out of my control. And I was hurt and had a lot of time on my hands. And like, if you guys notice, sometimes I'll slur my speech or I'll have a tick or something ain't right. It's because I have a brain injury. And doing YouTube gave me purpose just to give back. That's why you always hear me say, like, football family. Like, I truly believe that. I go back to my days playing or people you work with or people you see on Twitter. Like, football is just such a bonding experience overall. Like, we're not talking about politics or social issues or anything. It's good old football. Like, we can root for different teams and argue in a good natured way instead of like a hurtful way. Like, hey, but to add to that, do you think having Lamar himself like inspired you to create more videos or to take it more seriously?
Oh yeah, I mean 100%. I mean also the disrespect we were getting and this disrespect we still get with our quarterback is the reason why like I still keep doing it because nobody else is gonna give him that love and nobody else is gonna give our team that love. I haven't seen anybody else make Gus Edwards videos when I think he's the most underrated running back in the league. Honestly, I mean, what other running back averages 5 yards a carry and you see it? You never hear about him. So I just think we're just disrespected as a whole. So that's why we'll keep on doing it. I mean, because our players deserve the love that the Ravens flock gives them.
Yeah, same here, man. Like, my thing is coaches tape, and I've always been into evaluating players and everything. And I think it's important for the fans to not just remember the, like for fans to get to know the player and to bring like when you make a video, you bring their style out in their video. Like you're putting a certain song to it. It has a certain speed. Like what's the word I'm saying? It's got a certain like its own flow. Like there's
Yeah.
some serious art in it. Like have you seen yourself getting better at it from that angle?
Yeah, I think about like my first like edits, they were terrible. Especially they're still up on YouTube. I'll keep all my videos up. I have like my ones that with like no views still up there. I mean, just to show what you can grow from, and you got to start somewhere. We all start with 0 subscribers. I mean, that's just how it is. And yeah, I've seen myself grow, and I still have growing. I know next year this time I'll be like, wow, I can't believe I was doing that. 2 years from now, like, why was I still doing that? I know I can always get progressively better, but yeah. I mean, if you don't see growth, then why are you still doing it? That's how I think about it. Always got to get better.
Exactly, man. It's a challenge, dude. It's like, you're either like that in life or you're not. You like to push yourself, push your boundaries. And that's a sign that, like, I'm not worried about you as a person, like,
Yeah.
outside of life. If you're like that in your work and you're doing something that you love, like, that really warms my heart. Like, you're not just doing it to make it on YouTube or to make a living. You're going to make a living off of this, in my opinion, because you love it, because you love it and you're talented at it. Like, I have a son that he's really good at something and he loves it. And I'm not going to put his business out here on
Yeah.
YouTube, but it's not like a traditional, let's just say he's not working construction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
something artistic. And I told him, man, like, my father would never be like that to me, but if you're good at it and you love it, that's what you should be doing. You will
Yeah.
find a way.
Yeah. And I can't thank my parents enough. Like, they've been my number one supporters. Like, I started this when I was 18, 19, and like, they didn't really understand it. And I never meant for it to, be my number one thing. And it's not. It's not. But right now, I mean, it's just a hobby and it's just what I do in my free time. And without them, I probably wouldn't be here because they've helped me through like the bad days. Like when I was getting, nothing, I was like, wow, like this is pretty bad. But they've always, held my head up high and they're like, keep on going. So a big shout out to them too.
Dude, that's awesome. I would never known that, man. So, yeah, my parents were a little more old school. Like, if it didn't come with money, that was like, you're
Yeah.
not doing that. You know what I mean? To have parents supportive of you no matter what, man. I'm glad you're thankful for that, man, because that's really
Yeah.
big. Now, the last question I want to ask: are you studying this in school? And like, how do you keep up with the new technology? And like, how do you keep trying to up your game? Like,
So I actually don't study this. I study mass communication in journalism. I originally wanted to write about sports, but I'll be honest, I don't want to write about it. I rather make videos and make content for people and just show you about it. So I don't think I'm going to switch it to videography. I'm just going to stay in the journalism because it still all ties hand in hand with it. And to see myself getting better, definitely upgrading this good old Mac here soon. This is about had this when I was in high school. I'm now about to be a senior in college, so yeah, it's time for an upgrade, and I can definitely see improvements coming with that too.
a lot of money into it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet, dude. We won't talk about that no more.
yeah,
But yeah. But yeah, I can imagine, man. I'm working with my bare bones over here. I don't have the same style, man. Like mine more coaches tape, and that's why I really appreciate what you do because I know how much time goes into it. So I wanted to thank you very much for coming on and just letting people get a chance to know you and more as a person. And I look forward to interacting with you. You see his handle up there. Basically, your Twitter handle is SimplyAS, but just with the @ in front of it. Or is
yep.
it something
That's
different?
it. That's exactly what it is.
So follow the man on Twitter. I'm sure you're probably subscribed already. If you're not, subscribe. Football is family. Alex, much love to you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.